Hey guys, in this chapter we're going to learn a little bit about HTML and even a little CSS. And those are the two core technologies that go into displaying a website. Alright, so everything you see is pretty much written in HTML. Alright, so I'm at this w3schools.com website, which is probably one of the best resources for web development of any kind. And there's a really good HTML tutorial, and it has this editor, right? It has this try it editor where you can type HTML here, click submit code, and it'll show you the result. So we're going to use this editor to just explain basic, very basic HTML syntax. And if you already know HTML, you may want to skip this section because we're just pretty much going to just go over some of the important tags. All right, so HTML works on a tag syntax. A tag has, well, most of them have a beginning and an ending tag. Alright, so if you want a paragraph to display in an HTML page, you want to use the P tag. Alright, so the opening tag is a less than sign, a P for paragraph, and then a greater than sign. Alright, so that's the first tag. And the ending tag is going to be the same, except it's going to have a slash right before the P. Alright, it's going to have a forward slash. Alright, so this makes up a complete paragraph tag. So inside here is where we want to put the content. Okay, so we'll say this is a paragraph. Alright, so if we click submit code, this is what's going to display in our browser. Okay. Now, paragraph is obviously an important tag. Some other important tags are headings. Okay, so a heading, I'm going to keep this here. There's 6 types of headings. There's H1 through H6. All right, so for instance, H1. This is actually the biggest heading by default. Of course, you can change how big it is with CSS. But by default, H1 is the biggest size. All right, so we'll say this is an H1 heading. All right, so let's submit that, and you can see it's a nice big heading. All right, so if I copy this, and we can say H2. You can see that it's a little smaller, and it actually goes all the way to H6. So H6, you can see that that's even smaller than the paragraph by default. Now there's just a whole bunch of tags, and like I said, the W3 Schools website's really good, but there's just a ton of free information on HTML out there. Alright, so let's see. Let's look at some other ones. Let's say we want to make just this word bold, alright, the word paragraph. So we can use what's called the strong tag, okay? Not string, strong, okay? And we want to have the ending tag as well. And let's submit that. And you can see that now paragraph is bold because it's wrapped in these strong tags. Alright, now each HTML element is either a block level element or an inline element. Now all these headings and paragraph, these are all block level, and how you can tell is that when you let's see, our content that comes after the heading, after the H1 tags, is on a new line. Alright, so it's block level, it goes all the way across. Inline would just show up right next to the heading before, the tag before it. And I'll give you an example. Let's see, in this paragraph, actually I'll just put we'll do a link, because a link is an inline element. Alright, and a link uses the A tag. Now we have to have, our A tag is going to have an element, and an element is, for example, href, which is the element that's gonna where we're gonna put the page that we want this link to go to. Alright, so we could say something like http google.com. Alright, and then we want to close that. Alright, so now you can see that this is just a beginning A tag, just as this is a P tag, except the only difference is it has an attribute. It has this href attribute. There's other attributes like class, so we can assign this paragraph. We could say has a class of some paragraph, and this could actually we could use this class inside of our CSS to style this paragraph. Alright, so this is an attribute. It's just the keyword, an equal sign, and then whatever the value is going to go in between quotes. Alright, so this is going to be a link to Google. So we want to close this A tag, and then in here we'll just display the word Google. Alright, now let's submit this. Alright, so an A tag is inline, but since we put it after a block level tag, it's on a new line. So let's actually take this and put it inside of here. Alright, so you can see that this didn't go on a new line. Okay, the A tag did not go on a new line. That means it's an inline element. So you can actually look up, there's plenty of resources where you can find out which tags are inline and which tags are block elements. Alright, so I don't really want to do anything complicated because this is just to show you the basic HTML syntax. Okay, so we just have tags, we have attributes. Okay, class is an attribute, href is an attribute. If you want to display images in a web page, you would use the image tag. Okay, and we can use img as the image tag. Now this is a little different because an image tag you don't need a closing img tag like for instance the A tag. Alright, the way we do this is we end it with a / and then a greater than. Alright, so that's an image tag. Now this isn't going to show anything because we need to add a link to where that image is on the server. And we do that with the src attribute, which stands for source. Okay, just like any other attribute, it's going to have an equal sign, and then a value is going to go in between the parentheses. Alright, so we may have a folder called images, and then let's say we have an image that's just called someimage.jpg. Alright, so that would display whatever this image is inside of the browser. Alright, now when you have an image tag, you should also add alt text. Okay, so alternative, this is just another attribute, and in here is what you'll put if it'll be text, and that's what will show if for some reason the browser can't find this file. It's going to display the text, which you can have be whatever you want. So that's an image tag. That's how you can include an image. Now there's other more complicated things like unordered lists, tables, forms. I'm not going to do that in this section because I just wanted to give you just a basic idea of HTML tag syntax. Alright, so in the next video we'll actually create a document, an HTML document or a web page, and we'll upload it to our server so that we can see it in the browser.